Street Smark Audio. Proudly brings to you for all you motherfucking pretentious ass Smark Marks out there. CYBERSLAM 1996. Starring the Scourge of the IWC. Starring Hot Stuff Hollywood. Yes, sir.
If we wish to make it softer, we will tune it to a whisper.
I make classics after classics.
There was some straight fire right there, my friend.
Los Rudos in the Hizzle for the Extreme Retro Review for ECW, February 17th, 1996. This is CYBERSLAM 1996 edition.
Yeah.
It's Extreme Retro Review number 177.
Very special number to myself. It's my street number that I grew up on in here, good old Cleveland, Ohio. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out to 177th. I was the longest reigning 177th in Harvard champion. 7-year reign, undefeated. And I could have went out undefeated, but I did the time-honored tradition. Passed the belt on to some jabroni. I should have went out undefeated, but you live and you learn.
My nigga had the Bruno Sammartino reign. And then jobbed to superstar Billy Graham.
Pretty much.
Greatest ECW podcast in the known multiverse. Got to give a shout out to my boy Shim.
What up, Shim?
And now, as we pass the Reggie stick, the floor is yours.
Oh, man. Once again, welcome y'all to Extreme Retro Review number 177, the CYBERSLAM 96 variation of said review. Before we go ahead and get this party started, my brother Hwoud, what were your overall thoughts and views on this show?
It's a lot of shit I want to say about this show. Overall, I think it delivered. Matches delivered where it needed to be. Surprises. You know, storyline progression, start of new storylines, and more awesomeness from classic ECW.
So the show starts off with Bad Crew and some dude named Dread. Who the fuck is that? Versus Dino Sandoff, Donnie Allen,
Devious, Donnie Allen,
and the Dirt Bike Kid. Who? Like, it's just real quick, because I wanted to ask you, like, for your Surfer Ray Odysseys and your Dirt Bike Kids and people with gimmicks like that, do you think they are coming up with those particular ideas, or is the promoter, it's like, oh, you're the Dirt Bike Kid, you're going to be the Fat Plumber.
When you have a Vince company, you know, it's Vince and his creative team. But when it's Paul and he's running everything on a shoestring, I don't have time to be thinking up an idea for the Dirt Bike Kid, who's only going to be a one-off. You'll never see him again. This is your gimmick, kid?
Yeah.
All right, here, get killed, make your $15. Get killed.
Oh man, so this guy, the dirt bike kid, quote unquote, who's for whatever reason decided to make his way inside of an ECW ring, put that much thought into his gimmick to come up with the dirt bike kid. Well, the sad and the good part is that is the most time we're going to spend talking about that match, because Bad Crew and Dread, they ended up getting the victory. Once this match got started, I was waiting for the swerve or the 911 sort of deal to happen, and we kind of got it at the end. Sandman came out and whooped everybody's ass with the cane. What were your thoughts?
I'm glad you noted that you were waiting for the 911 run in, and that's basically what happened. Since 911 is not in the company anymore, that spot falls now to the Sandman. So Sandman now gets over by beating everybody up with the cane. He gave my boy Devious a couple shots. I was pretty mad about that. You should treat your elders a little bit better than that. Shout out to the Devious.
I'm sure somewhere he's out there and he appreciates that. So yeah, after he whoops some ass, the crowd chants his name. He hops on the mic and says, "Now let's get extreme." And then we are on to the next match, which is El Puerto Rico versus SPIROS Greco.
That would be El Taco Burrito versus the Greek god Spiros Grecos. Put some respect on his name.
I thought you were going to say El Taco Burrito versus
the Gyro.
Yeah. Don't steal my joke. Greco gets the win in a snoozer. Hwould, your thoughts?
So, I love the fact that he pretty much botched one of his moves. The crowd turned on him immediately. I always have a funny note to point out that Taco always has on his boyfriend's t-shirt that he slept in before coming to the ECW Arena. And
So you can feel close to him.
and like you said, match was snooze fest, but I was perversely entertained.
So after that, Bill Alfonso and Taz are out next. He's facing Joel Hartgood. Clearly, this was set out to be a squash, and that exactly was. Taz won with a Taz mission, and that was that. Hwoud, your thoughts on the squizzage?
So I like the slow morphing of Fonzie from troubleshooting referee to now being a manager. But he still has the referee outfit, but his shirt is now orange rather than blue. And Joey tried to roast that little nigga, but I like that shit, so fuck you, Joey. But Taz beat up a geek. You know what I'm saying? Beat him up, threw him around, dumped him on his head. Fucking damage control came out, tried to put on a gurney, tipped over the gurney. Again, just another victim. And regardless of the neck injury work, I'm digging the path of rage.
Nice. Oh man, I am too. I definitely agree. And it's nice he's getting his funky off on jobbers. As you alluded to, he dumped the fucking who he fight again? Oh, Joel off the gurney and shit. Couple jobbers came out, tried to be heroes.
That would be Devious Donnie Allen and Dino Sendoff.
Oh man, and then apparently Mikey Whipwreck as well.
Former Triple Crown winner Mikey Whipwreck, I might add, coming out to help the Geek Squad.
He gets a few shots in, but ultimately he's dumped on his head as well, like the rest of the geeks, and locked into the Taz mission.
Treated like another fucking jobber. Former world heavyweight champion Mikey Whipwreck, treated like a jobber.
Oh man, but he's
Like a
at
jobber.
least he's
Like
the
a
god of
jobber.
jobbers because he lasted longer than Sendoff and
How
the
dare you
devious one.
blaspheme the name of Surfer Ray Odyssey? If anything, he's a demigod.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. Sorry, Ray. So after that, we have Joe. We have Joey Styles. He's out. It's basically a build-up. He's on the mic. The lights go off. I wasn't sure if I wanted to say it out or off. Apparently, the lights go off. When they come back on, Brian Pillman is in the ring.
All right, a little bit of backstory. So Brian Pillman is doing the loose cannon gimmick. And he goes to Eric Bischoff and he says, hey, to make this loose cannon gimmick work a little harder, how about you fire me for real? Then I go to ECW to tailor out the gimmick. And then I come back with a fresh, with the gimmick, crowdsourced in ECW. And then come back for big money back to Atlanta. Grants him the release. He immediately signs with the WWF after like 6 weeks.
Got it.
It was the first big money guaranteed contract that Vince ever gave because he was losing talent so much from people jumping ship.
Oh shit.
So Brian Pillman was a real big coup. So he has this gimmick, but he can't really speak how he wants to on Turner TV. So he gets the release and goes to ECW where he can work the gimmick out or whatever. I don't understand how in 2019 people think this was such an elaborate shoot when OG sign guy in the back has a sign that reads, "Hey Pillman, don't work us. Work us. If this is such a fucking shoot, how does sign guy have a fucking sign?
Knowing it's a work.
It's a complete work.
Oh man, it definitely helps to reinforce your philosophy that everything is a work.
Pillman starts rambling on about the 90s Wiz Kid and how Eric Bischoff fired him. And he tried to stop his constitutional rights. And he fucked up the promo because he was like, it's from Constitution. And we're in Philadelphia where the Constitution was written. And this is how I know this shit is a work. Because he tells you, he defines in the ring what a smart mark is.
He did.
This motherfucker says a smart mark, like each and every one of you motherfuckers in the audience, because they've been all jacking their dick off and rubbing their fucking man boobs to him, after everything he fucking said. Even though everything he says is just a rambling mess. And then he fucking flips on their ass.
Yeah.
And now they getting like, oh shit, he's shitting on us. Oh God. And he tells you what a smart mark is. He says, a smart mark is a motherfucker who pays their last dollar for some crack. A smart mark is a motherfucker who believes that OJ did it. Now, the pauses that he had were intentional. They weren't just dramatic pauses for effect. There was reasoning behind those pauses. Because it doesn't matter what you pay for. You know what I'm saying? You could be a mark for now ladies. You could be a mark for weed. You could be a mark for bitches. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And you could believe in anything. You can believe that the earth is round. You can believe that we went to the moon. You can believe in a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? But I want you as the viewer to key in on that what he says, that a smart mark is a person who pays and a person who believes. You motherfuckers are paying and you're in here believing what he's talking about. And he's got you hook, line, and sinker.
Oh shit.
So after he turns on the fucking fans and they finally catch wind of the shit, he talks about how he's gonna pull out his dick and piss on the ring. That's when Todd Paul and Shane Douglas of all people rush the ring. Shane Douglas has on the ECFNW T-shirt that the fuckwad always shields on the shows that we do in between.
That would be Maddie in the apartment. Lance Wright.
So Todd's all like, "This wasn't part of the deal, brother. This wasn't part of the deal."
Acting like he's breaking quote unquote kayfabe and shit.
Pillman's talking about, "I'll do whatever the fuck I want." You know what I'm saying? Paul's like, "All right, I had enough of this bullshit." You know, and then Pillman hits him with the Booker Man line. Paul has enough. He's like, "Get out. You know, get the cops. You know, get him out of here." Shane, ever so slightly in the mic, says, "He's shooting. He's shooting. He's shooting. He's shooting." To ramp up the realism of the segment.
Right.
They get Pillman out the ring. He decks a plant, pulls him in the ring, and stabs him with a fork. Shane then comes back and chases Pillman out the ring, and he runs up the aisle to go. I don't understand how you think this is riveting television in 2019. There's no way possible that you could think this is all unscripted shit. This is all a segment. This is a angle.
I thought it was great. I mean, coming in fresh, saying everything I review I've seen for the first time and shit. So it's reeked of work to me. I thought it was a good work, but I didn't think,
I'm not saying it wasn't well executed.
Right.
I'm just saying that these motherfuckers talk about, "Oh man, Brian Pillman could have been the next." He was like the David Koresh of pro wrestling. This motherfucker just did an advanced angle. Based on realism. It's not, this isn't hard. We live in real life every day.
I'm glad that, said I didn't get hooked into it. Because I wrote all that shit down and shit. Shane says he's shooting, crowd chants, let him piss. This other shit. But I can't believe people really, was thinking like, "Oh my God, Pillman, he went off script."
When Sign Guy had the sign that said, "Hey, Pillman, don't work us," it's not, that's like a telltale sign. It's like a red flag right there. Like, how do you know he's supposed to be there? Are you in on this, motherfucker? It just takes 3 seconds of thought. That's it. It was very well executed for the time. I'm not saying it doesn't age well. I'm just saying how pitiful of you that you were just so roped in.
Yeah, come on.
On an angle.
Come on, nah, man.
There's bitches out here.
Give me a break. Oh man, so yeah. After that, we have Mr. Hughes versus Bubba Ray Dudley. Match already in progress. Bubba nails a top rope splash for the win. Like they literally showed us like the last 30 seconds and shit of the match.
Hughes kicked out at 3.1, as per the norm. Shout out to the Roughneck.
Good job, Mr. Hughes. Excuse me. Mustafa of the Gangsters is out next. He's out without New Jack because New Jack is in jail in Atlanta. Any backstory on that? I take it that's for real.
So, if I recall, and I could be mixing my New Jack stories up, I think somebody owed him money. So he put the motherfucker in a trunk of his car.
Oh, shit.
Rode around with him for like 8 hours.
Damn.
The police pulled him over. They hear the fucking thumping of the shit. They get the guy out. They lock him up. And then I think when he called Paul Lee, he says, when he calls Paul Lee, he says, "If you don't have me out in 3 days, I'm going to be here for like 6 weeks," or some shit like that. I could be confusing the stories up, but there's a lot of New Jack stories during that time.
Holy shit. So they were originally scheduled to face the Headhunters, aka the Little Abbeys.
That is correct.
So Mustafa lets everyone know that New Jack is in jail, but he's going to face the Little Abbeys 1-on-2. Basically, because he ain't no bitch. Damian Kane gets on the mic and disparagingly offers Mustafa a job. Mustafa says he needs a hand job.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Who was he getting the hand job from? He didn't really specify that it was either Lady Alexandra or Damian Kane that he was getting that hand job from. Hell, it could have been the little Abbeys. I don't know. Because, you know, if we hit the Wayback Machine, you know, when the gangsters was beating up the Public Enemy, they went to tag the Public Enemy, and Mustafa had Johnny Grunge bent over just a tad bit too long.
Oh, man. I don't remember that, and I'm glad that I don't. Yeah, he did. I was hoping he was just speaking in a general sense, and he didn't really, you know what I'm saying, was expecting Damian Kane to spit on his hand and shit and go to town and shit. But, you know, maybe he was just throwing it out there for all the hoes in Philadelphia, you know what I'm saying. I need a hand job! I don't know. But Mustafa, he ends up attacking Damian, then the little Abbeys attacks Mustafa. Anyway, stuff happens. Then the Bruise Brothers make their ECW return and shit.
The fucking lunkheads. The fucking lunkheads. Lunkhead X and Lunkhead X plus one.
Now, were they in WCW at this point yet or not yet?
No, they were being Jacob and Eli Blue, I believe.
Oh shit, the Blue Brothers. Okay. Alright, well them motherfuckers, they for long-time listeners of the show, y'all will remember we've covered some of their tag matches in the past and shit.
Awful.
Well, they're back. They go right after the little Abbeys. It turns into an impromptu match all of a sudden. After basically starting out as a brawl. Basically at the end you have one little Abbey pinning one lunkhead and one lunkhead pinning a little Abbey. And for some reason the ref gave the match to the lunkheads. So was there something that I missed, or did he just arbitrarily pick the lunkheads when the match probably should have been a draw or a no contest or something?
Negative infinity.
All right, that settles that. Oh shit. So Joey is back in the ring again and shit. Out comes Beulah and fucking Tommy Dreamer and shit. Something's wrong with Tommy. I didn't write it down. I can't remember.
He had his arm in a sling.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah, he was fucked up and shit. So they still carted his ass out there anyway. Then after that, Raven, Stevie, the Blue Meanie, and Kawana Wanalea. They come out. Raven talks a little shit. The Bruise Brothers come back out. They beat up Tommy Dreamer. And yeah, I'm glad that Tommy Dreamer got his ass whooped a little bit since his arm was in a sling and he couldn't do shit else and shit. Hwould, your thoughts?
So Raven comes out. Talking about in Thailand, if you steal something, they cut off your hand.
Yeah, oh yes.
In Indonesia, if you're running away with something, they cut off your foot.
Yes.
You impregnated my girlfriend. So what do you guess they're gonna cut off on your body or some shit? That's when the lunkheads, Shane Douglas, come in. He tells Shane to get her out of here. Raven says, yeah, get my girlfriend out with your demon spawn. Yeah, motherfucker says the coolest line.
Oh, shit.
Dreamer, prepare to die. Prepare to die. And the lunkheads turn on this nigga. And then we start Testicle Quest. The fall of Tommy's balls. They run this nigga's balls into the guardrail. like 3 times. Raven does the martyr pose right in front of him. It was awesome. And you're gonna see Tommy Dreamer's testicles get beaten to obliterate for the next few shows.
Oh man, the fall of Tommy Dreamer's balls. Oh man.
Testicle quest.
Testicle quest. Poor bastard. Oh shit. So after that, oh man, we have the man who has continually been eating out here. I'm guessing it's Italian, either pizza or pasta. That is JT, the Italian Stallion Smith. He's on his way to the ring to face Axel Rotten.
They do a recap of JT turning on Axel Rotten from the Big Apple Blizzard Blast, recounted by us, Extreme Retro Review number 174.
It's JT Smith versus Axel Rotten. I mean, I'm happy JT's eating out here and shit. But the only real notable part of the match was he used the klutz gimmick that I hate so much as part of a fake tactic. So he was on the top rope with a steel chair and shit. He looking like he was about to do a backflip with the chair and land, you know, either a crossbody or moonsault or some shit. So he accidentally on purpose falls and with the chair crashing down on his face. Axel think he's fucked up for real because he's been a klutz and shit. JT Smith, he jumps up and smashes Axel Rotten with the chair, gets the 1, 2, 3. So that was the first time that I was appreciative of the work that went into the klutz bullshit. And the Italian shit, it does kind of tickle me and shit. Your thoughts?
I love this match. For the payoff alone, everything built up to that finish. They do the klutz, the false finish with the klutz deal off the top rope. He smacks him in the back. Axel totally telegraphed it. You know what I'm saying? Pins him 1, 2, 3. Then the post-match shit just makes it even better.
So, Hack Myers comes out. JT gets the upper hand.
Wait. First, he did the moonsault with the chair onto Axel's face. Then Hack came out.
Okay. My bad. Hwoud is absolutely correct. So then Hack comes out. This motherfucker JT Smith, he starts punching on Hack and shit and starts trying to get the shot chance going for him and shit.
He said, hey, it's all right. Hey, I want to dance. Hey, Shaw. Hey, how you doing, Shaw? Hey, let's dance. Shaw. Crowd chanting shit and shit. It was awesome.
Well done, JT. You had me worried for a little bit, but I'm glad you eating out here and shit. Oh shit. So Hack ends up whooping JT's ass and shit, which is rather unfortunate, but I understand. So next up we have
No. Right before he beats him out the ring, right? So JT's running away, but as he's running away, he kicks Axel Rotten in the balls one more time, and then Shaw starts beating him up the aisle and shit. It was awesome.
Oh shit. Oh well done, you guys. Alright. So next up we have the Pitbulls with Francine versus the Eliminators with Stevie Richards.
That would be the King of Swing, Esquire, Super Stevie Richards.
Also one half of the Fabulous Ones. This match was way too long for my liking.
Way too fucking long.
There was one point where Stevie super kicked Francine and shit relatively early and shit. that made my day, except for it kind of pissed me off and shit, which I'll get to in a second. But somehow everybody, so they were in dog collar matches. They were two apiece and shit. One eliminator to one pit bull, and then Stevie and Beulah were dog collar. Francine, I'm sorry. So then somehow after Stevie super kicks Francine, he gets out of his collar. So he just flying around free all willy-nilly and shit. And Francine is dead, slumped in the motherfucking corner and shit. Whole match and this whole long-ass match and shit. So after this long-ass match finally comes to an end, somehow Stevie ends up down. Beulah, Walking Dead style, comes back and crawls her zombie ass over on top of Stevie Richards.
That would be Francine.
I'm sorry. I'm getting my Silver Dome in the Superdome moment on.
Nice.
Happy WrestleMania weekend, everybody. Back to ECW. Yeah, fucking Francine gets the motherfucking win and shit. But then, thankfully, the Eliminators save the finish because they total eliminate everybody. Both pit bulls. Like they wanted to get Francine first and shit.
And they try to get Francine. People want spears her. Then he gets totally eliminated. Then they try to get Francine again. Then 2 saves. And then they totally eliminate number 2. And then all that's left is Francine. And acting defiant, she slaps one of the motherfuckers.
Big mistake.
Clotheslined her ass and then gave her total elimination. It was awesome. It made up for that long ass match.
Yes, it did. I agree. Oh man, I said they saved the best for last and then totally eliminate Francine. Speaking of another long ass match, god damn, who thought a 30-minute, spoiler alert, time limit draw between Cold Scorpio, the TV champion, versus Sabu was a good ass idea? Who thought that was a good idea?
This is the bad part about it. This is the obvious push for Taz versus Sabu. Taz is on the undercard fighting geeks, working his way up, while Sabu is over here world beating. But they fucking, at the Blast, did Sabu versus Mr. Hughes for 15 fucking minutes, and it was god awful. You know, they didn't even televise Sabu versus Rob Van Dam for part 1.
Yeah, what was that all about?
They did Sabu versus Shaw at November to Remember, recounted by us, Extreme Retro Review number 159.
You're welcome.
They did Sabu versus Cactus Jack at Holiday Hell 95, recounted by us, Extreme Retro Review number 166.
You're welcome.
So Sabu is having these 15, 20-minute matches, and they don't mean nothing.
Nope.
So when the motherfucker goes to a 30-minute draw, no matter how much Mike Johnson and the geeks in the ECW Arena appreciate this fucking drivel, I was bored to tears.
I was like, how much longer is this gonna go? The pay-per-view could have easily, Sabu and Cold Scorpio could have did that shit in 10 minutes.
It's a TV title. It should have been a 10-minute title match.
Well, no problem. Everybody could have got their funky off. The Tuco had to. He never pulled Sabu up and shit, but it was a bunch of times where he should have went for the pin and he just looked at him and shit. I'm like, oh boy.
This nigga over here laughing and shit. This nigga dropped the bomb.
Yeah. Like, nigga, come on. Fuck you. Oh yeah. That wrote, fuck you, ECW. So yeah, I kind of got an attitude right there.
It was 30 minutes of Cirque du Soleil done terribly by 2 botch machines. I gave it 3.
Oh, that was very generous of you. Oh man, next up we have the franchise and the last member of the great stable known as Hot Stuff International, founded by my hero and mentor, Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert, the king of Philadelphia. Shane Douglas versus Cactus Jack. They skipped the intros. Cactus, for some reason, comes out in a shirt and tie. After Shane rips off the shirt and his tie, We come to find out he has on his Forgive Me Uncle Eric t-shirt. Good job and shit. There, Cactus. This match will see us or find us watching Shane Douglas do fucking crossbody blocks into the crowd. That was unexpected. But, you know, I could appreciate that. Even though the crowd was trying to troll Shane a couple times in the match by chanting Ahmed Johnson and Razor. At first, you know, normally I like to blame time travel when I see shit. Because this match looked just like Cactus, or was it Cactus Jack or Mankind?
Mankind.
Mankind versus The Rock, Royal Rumble 99, when Mankind was handcuffed and The Rock still chair shotted him to obliterate. So, but then I remembered Shane probably still has some residual anti-monitor powers. Or when he was the anti-monitor and as he was creating the multiverse, he probably looked ahead into the future and then decided that that was a good idea to use on Cactus Jack in this particular match. But that was the first thing that I thought of and shit when I saw that part. So then later on in the match, after Cactus is handcuffed and getting his ass whooped and shit, the microphone ends up near him after the ref and Shane are begging him to give up. He starts calling for Mikey. Mikey! That was a terrible Cactus, but my throat's a little raspy right now, but he ends up calling for Mikey a couple times. Shane locks Cactus in the figure four. Mikey finally does come out with a steel chair and a elegant, subtle touch of veteran professional wrestler nuanceness. While Mikey had a chair, Shane put his hands up like he was bracing for impact, and Mikey destroys Cactus Jack with the chair. Cactus is laid out flat. The ref comes and counts Cactus's shoulders. 1, 2, 3. Shane is the winner. Hwoud, your thoughts?
This is finally the match that's been hinted at since Extreme Retro Review number 83, the Niggas with Attitudes title tournament.
You're welcome.
After Shane had won the NWA title and threw it down, recreated the multiverse as the anti-monitor, Mick Foley came up to him and said, "We'll see who the better man is one day." And this is finally that match at Extreme Retro Review number 177.
You're welcome.
Mark Curtis, the referee for this match.
You're welcome.
It's Brian Hildebrand. He also trained with Shane and Cactus at Dominic DeNucci's school. So that was another elegant Easter egg for you.
Nice.
I like this match, and I liked the poetic justice of Mikey giving Cactus Jack the chair shot heard around the universe.
Ooh, it sure did, because I watched that shit a couple times. I'm like, God damn.
Put that nigga to sleep.
I don't know if that was just a good sale job on Cactus or that chair shot was really that impactful, but yeah, put that nigga out. Whew. Yeah, that shit was thrilling. All right, so finally, thank you, ECW, a proper match where it should be. The ECW World Heavyweight Championship match is in the main event slot. We are at the last match of the evening. We have the Sandman with Missy Hyatt versus Raven, Kimono Wanalea, Super Stevie, one half of the Fabulous Ones, and the Dancing Niggas, Will Richards, and the Blue Meanie. Hwoud, your thoughts of the match?
I had a very nice time watching this match. I was thoroughly entertained. I ended up giving it 3.5, maybe leaning towards 4, due to the callbacks of their earlier match at Holiday Hell, recounted by us, Extreme Retro Review number 166.
You're welcome.
And it was the finish was obvious callback to the Holiday Hell match, but the fans did not like it.
But which is understandable because they're marking for Sandman. But fuck them, I wouldn't have been mad if Sandman won. But overall, I thought this was a perfect match for ECW overall. I mean, we had a cat fight with Missy and Kimona. The fucking Finnegan, or Finnagoof as you like to call him, took 2 bumps in the fucking match. The Bruise Brothers came out and the Blue Meanie got involved. Sandman basically kind of had the odds and the deck stacked against him, so he didn't look too bad in defeat. Overall, I just thought it was perfect. So after that, Blue Meanie, he after everybody leaves, he starts to stand and gyrate over Sandman. He opens a beer and he gets his groove on. He tries the beer, he doesn't really like it, and he kind of spits some out and spills some on Sandman, which, like spinach to Popeye, revives him and gives him his ass-kicking powers. He comes back. Meanie tries to launch an offensive with the cane. He whacks Sandman a couple times, but ultimately Sandman gets up in that ass. Missy Hyatt comes. No homo. Missy Hyatt comes out like a good bitch, bringing my nigga Squally and a beer, and that's the end of the show. Overall, I thought it was a decent show. The Cold Scorpio match with Sabu almost ruined it for me, as did the other long match that I can't recall off the top of my head.
Dog collar.
Yes, thank you. Those 2 matches kind of, if they would have trimmed those matches down, it could have been a nice, succinct, overall excellent pay-per-view, but those 2 matches dragged it down, so I gave it a decent. I think that's all I have to say about that. Hwoud, do you want to take us home, my brother?
We're going to work on your closing.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea.
Coming up next, post-show for CYBERSLAM 1996, February 20th. Until then, life is a work. Make sure you get paid for it. We out. Peace.
Peace.